Hi everyone, my name is Rishad. Today is today's the 9th of November 2025, and I'll be going over my weekly review of Nvidia and my weekly prediction for Nvidia. As usual, I'll be going over the monthly, weekly, and finally the daily charts, and then I'll switch over to the Excel sheet where we'll review last week's prediction and go over this one in detail. But before getting into this video, it's important to make the disclaimer that all information here is completely educational, and therefore it is important to conduct your own analysis to ensure that you're comfortable with the risk, reward, and trading style, since you may not be with mine. Well, with that out of the way, let's get into the video, right? So if we look here in the monthly charts, we can see that Nvidia's most recent candle, which to be fair is only of the first week, is a very large red candle, and bearish candle. This is largely coming from a slew of horrible economic data, and particularly the U.S. job cuts, that have been reported, massive job cuts this month and pretty much pervasive throughout the year. Just month on month, there was a 185% increase in the number of layoffs in the U.S. Job market. So very, very discouraging data for the economy in general, which is why not just Nvidia, across the board, a lot of stocks and companies are experiencing these sort of heavy declines in the first week. So we can see that Nvidia is no exception here to broadband economic data. Regardless, we see that there is obviously a huge uptrend, which, if you've been a part of this channel, you know that we've ridden the ride here. Although this is a massive candle, it is only the first week. It may not be something to worry about immediately. However, this sort of job layoffs does indicate that there are more economic repercussions to come. So definitely be mindful of that. Right? This is what we get from the monthly charts. Moving on to the weekly charts, we see again, we have this sort of long-standing uptrend, which we saw in the monthly charts, and it was really, really a big spike here, hitting a new all-time high. However, in this next week, Nvidia crashed down significantly. In fact, it actually went up to 211.34, 212.19, and then now currently the closing price is 188.15, right? So massive drop. In fact, it's a 7.08% drop. We see that the RSI was confirming all this price action, but now it has started to come back down. And of course, this is pretty much entirely because of this one candle. This can change. MACD is yet to cross, but if this bearish trend continues, we will see this converge and cross over as well. However, where it gets really interesting are these daily charts. We see that we were in this uptrend. We had a very long sort of sideways pattern. We broke out, and now we come here, right? So even before this week started, let's look towards the end of the previous week, a lot of mixed signals coming here. We had a massive gap up. However, we were met with a sort of spinning top candle and then another bearish candle. So you can call this an evening star candlestick pattern, which is a very generally high reliability and high success rate bearish reversal. So the candlestick charts were giving us an indication of this. We see that the prices have crashed down since then. However, we have another interesting candlestick pattern here. We have a hammer, right? And not just a hammer, interestingly enough, where the price closed at the end here is pretty much the close of the previous day. So this is what we call a bullish belt hold. Generally a good reversal signal. We see that the MACD here has crossed over negative and RSI is negative as well. However, again, depending on news that comes out and how the market perceives these job layoffs, and especially in consideration to how badly it affects Nvidia, this will sort of dictate the pace of the prices in the coming weeks. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.